Hello all, welcome back to the class. Today in this class you will be learning about reading comprehension strategies. Reading comprehension is one of the most important and difficult concepts for the people who are preparing for competitive exams. This plays a very crucial role in your selection and also it increases your chances of getting placed. So you have to give special attention to reading comprehension and spend more time on improving your comprehending skills. Let's now try to understand how to solve reading comprehension questions easily and score better marks in the exams. Let's start understanding the techniques. So before we discuss the techniques, I have a question for you. What do you usually do? Do you read the paragraph first or you read the questions first? But I suggest my students to read the questions first. I'll just give you three techniques here. Only three techniques. Just follow these three techniques so that you can solve the questions well. First one, read the questions first. Why am I asking you guys to read the questions first is because it gives you clarity about what you should search for in the paragraph. The second thing is that underline the keywords. When you read the questions, you need to concentrate on the keywords. What are the keywords? Keywords are those words that help you understand what you should search for in the paragraph. Okay, for example, what was unique about the promotion of X? Now here you have a question. Now if you observe this question, the keyword here is unique. You need to identify what was unique about the promotion of X. So when you go back and start reading the paragraph, your focus must be on finding out uniqueness about the promotion. Clear? Done. So the third technique is decide which question should be answered first. So there are three things that you need to keep in mind. Read the questions first, underline the keywords, and then decide which question should be answered first. Okay, so just these three things. Now to decide which questions should be answered first, you actually need to know the types of questions. There are different types of questions which are often given in the exams, but the first type is what is the main theme or idea, objective or purpose. This is a common question which is often given in the exams. Okay, and the second type is details or direct. Details or direct questions are the questions wherein your ability of recollecting the data is tested. You don't really need to analyze the information there. You don't have to give any work to your brain. Simple thing. You just need to get back to the information, collect the information and answer your question. For example, Rama is the son of Dasaratha. Now comes a question, who is the son of Dasaratha? Simple answer is Rama. Ho gaya. That's all. So detailed or direct questions are very easy to answer. And the third category is imply. What is meant by imply? What is meant by imply? Imply is something that indirectly suggests. Okay, if I say smoking is injurious to our health, now I'm asking you which of the following can be implied from the above statement. Smoking is injurious. That means you can simply say the above statement implies that smoking is not good for health. Fine. So what it implies is, implying is indirect suggestion. You have some suggestion included in it and you need to identify what it actually suggests or advises. Okay. So the next type is inference. Inference is more complex. It's about what you understand. It's about what you suppose or what you actually conclude. It is to come to a conclusion. So it's more about what you receive than what it implies. See, imply gives a suggestion indirectly, but in inference you need to come to conclusions. Let's say you have read a small paragraph about the measures to be taken to control COVID. What you finally conclude is your inference, because this is what you have taken from it. Inference is more about what you take or understand or conclude, whereas imply gives an indirect suggestion. Okay, done. So the next type is structure. So when I say structure, it's about text structure, which refers to how information is organized in a passage. Okay, different authors follow different styles depending on the subject matter they choose to write. So in structure there are different types. For example, narrative or descriptive. What is narrative? Narrative is a very simple narration of a story. For example, there is a boy called Ravi. He is an engineer. He lives in Bhimavaram. Now I'm speaking about Ravi. This is, a description. But when it comes to narration, you speak a story like there is Rama, who is a son of Dasaratha. He got married to Sita. He went to Vanavasa and he stayed in the forest for 14 years. This is a story. So when you narrate stories, you call the technique as narrative. And when you describe about a person or a place or a thing, you call it as description. So these are simple techniques. And apart from that, apart from these two structures, you have cause and effect structure, explaining a cause and its effect. And then there is something called chronological. Chronological is discussing things in order. Okay, you speak about what happened first and what happened next and then next, so on and so forth. This is chronological structure. So things are discussed or described in an order. And then you have problem and solution. The author presents a problem and then he offers a solution. So that is problem and solution structure. And there is something called compare and contrast. Maybe two different things are compared in a paragraph. For example, Indian economy and world economy, or Indian economy and Chinese economy. And there is something called contrast also. Two different things will be discussed or compared. So this is what happens in compare and contrast. And you also discuss similarities and differences there. And the other category is classifications and divisions. So author may classify or divide. That means he sorts information into topics and categories. So these are the different structures that the authors follow when they write paragraphs or passages. So common types of passages are these categories. Please do remember. And sometimes you may be asked to write about a synonym of a word used in the paragraph or antonym, or you may be asked to give the meaning of a phrase or an idiom that is used in the passage. So these are the common types of questions. Let's say that you have read the passage and you have also underlined the question keywords. Now you notice that there are 10 questions. The first question is inference, and the second question has asked you to write about the main theme, and the third question is a detailed question. Fourth one is a synonym. Fifth question is an inference again. Sixth one is also on inference. Inference questions, you'll have questions like this: which of the following can be inferred from paragraph 1, or which of the following can be inferred from the last paragraph. Okay, the questions will be like this. And the eighth one is meaning of a phrase. Okay, there might be a phrase taken from the paragraph and you may be asked to give the meaning of it. And imply, ninth one is imply, and 10th question is again on inference. So if you observe here, most of the questions are on inference and one is on imply, and you have got two detailed questions and one question has asked you to write the meaning of a phrase. So now which question you are going to answer first? I always suggest you to answer the detailed questions first. As I have already told you, detailed questions are direct questions. So here only thing that you need to do is you need to read the question, underline the keyword, and with the help of the keyword you need to navigate yourself back to the paragraph, see where that keyword is used and read that statement carefully and answer the question. You just need to collect the information from the paragraph and give it back to this particular person who is asking you to collect that information. Simple, very, very easy. Okay, and then once you answer these detailed questions, then you can concentrate on other questions, because there are many people, especially people who are preparing for banking exams, they often aim at scoring just 1 or 2 marks from RC, because the cutoff will be very low. Like sometimes the cutoff for OC candidates will be less than 10 for 40. So for those who just want to score 2 or 3 marks from RC section, if they have 2 or 3 direct questions in the paragraph, their job will become very easy and they'll be surely in, because you just need to do you need to identify what are the direct questions, so that you can save your time and answer these questions easily. Okay, let's now try to solve one simple example. So as I told you, you need to keep 3 things in your mind. First thing is you have to read the questions. So I'm giving you the questions first. Let's first read the questions, and then we need to identify the keywords. And after we identify the keywords, then we need to decide the questions that need to be answered first. Fine. So here is the question. First question: what was unique about the promotion of Axe? Now what is the keyword here? Unique is the keyword. And what is the meaning of unique? Being one of its own kind. So what we are asked to do here, we need to read the paragraph carefully, and then we need to find about the uniqueness of the promotion of Axe. Fine. Next, question number 2. What was the aim of the publicity for the party? So here the keyword is aim is the keyword. And remember, you may not have these keywords used as it is in the paragraphs. You may not find them sometimes. There may not be these keywords available in the paragraphs. But remember that the meaning of the keywords will be expressed using other phrases or other words. For example, you have a keyword here, aim. There may not be a word called aim in the paragraph, but the same meaning, like there may be a synonym like goal, ambition, target, focus. It may be used. So what you are supposed to do here is you need to understand the meaning of the keyword also, because if the same keyword is not used, then you should be able to understand where the same meaning is conveyed in the paragraph. Okay, done. Question number 3. Who were the target audience in Unilever's promotional campaign? Here the keyword is target audience. So if you find target audience in the paragraph somewhere, then your job becomes easy. For example, the target audience of Unilever's promotion is this, then it is a direct question, you can easily answer. If you do not find target audience, that phrase or that word in the paragraph, then your job becomes difficult, because you need to check very carefully where that sense or the meaning is conveyed. Okay, fine, I'll explain it, don't worry. Question number 4. What was the effect of the marketing campaign? Here the clue word or keyword is effect. Question number 5. How did people get an invitation to the house party? Here the keyword again, clue word is get an invitation. Next, question number 6. According to Mary Drapp, what was the aim of the promotional campaign? So here again you have a keyword called aim. We have already come across aim in question number 2. There was the key was aim there, and here also you have got aim. And apart from aim, there is one more name here, Mary Drapp. So you need to concentrate on what was actually advised or suggested by Mary Drapp. So we have read 6 questions. So that's the end of the questions. I gave you total 6 questions. We have read the questions and we have underlined the keywords. We have since we cannot underline these keywords on our mobiles, I want you guys to write on a white sheet of paper, write all these 6 keywords. Now look at these questions. So these are the 6 questions that we have just gone through. What was unique about the promotion of Axe? What was the aim of the publicity for the party? Who were the target audience in Unilever's promotional campaign? What was the effect of the marketing campaign? How did people get an invitation to the house party? According to Mary Drapp, what was the aim of the promotional campaign? So I read the questions and I have underlined the keywords. Okay, now I need to decide which of these questions to be answered first. So here I've got 6 questions. Out of these 6 questions, how many questions are direct or detailed questions? Because I told you to answer direct questions first. Is there any detailed question given? This is what we need to check. So how can we find a direct question here? If the keyword of a question is found directly in the given paragraph. then it could be a direct question. If not, you need to analyze the data to figure out the meaning expressed through the keywords. Okay, now give a quick reading to the passage and see whether any one of these keywords can be found in the passage. Now let's start reading the passage. This is the passage. You have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs. Third paragraph is very short. There is only one line. And even the fifth paragraph is also a very short one. There are only 2 lines. So give a reading to it. I'll give you 2 minutes time. You can pause the video, read it, and then come back to the video again. Let's pause and read. Alright, hope you have read the paragraph. So we have read the paragraph and we have not found any one of our keywords here. It means that none of these questions is a direct question. So we need to analyze the given data to find the answers. Okay. So what we need to do here is we need to summarize each paragraph. Let's first summarize the first paragraph. Axe combined young men's natural interest in pretty girls with the attraction of a great house party, and it also appeals to American male youth. So what I understand here is Axe has tried to combine the young man's natural interest in the girls, and it also conducted a party. And what's important here is it has appealed to American male youth. So it is the clue actually. It appeals to American male youth. What does it mean? What is meant by appeal actually? To appeal is to attract or interest somebody. That means Axe tried to attract the American male youth. So what happened? It means Axe tried to attract American male youth. Now get back to the questions and check the keywords and see which of these keywords matches with your summary of first paragraph. Okay. Now let me take you guys back to the questions. Look at the questions. And if you observe, there is something called target audience in question number 3. Question number 3 asks you, who were the target audience in Unilever's promotional campaign? So now if you observe the first paragraph, in the first para, there is a line called it also appeals to. That means Axe also appeals to American male youth. As I told you, appeal is to attract or interest somebody. So that means Axe tried to attract the American male youth. Now look at the options. Option A, young women. Option B, young men. Option C, men of all ages. And option D, men and women. Here the correct answer is young men, because Axe aimed at American male youth. So it tried to appeal American male youth. Okay. So here in question number 3, the target audience is the keyword, and which matches with our summary points in the first paragraph. So now we can easily answer the question, right? So look at the options and got the answer. We already got the answer. The correct answer is option B, young men. And remember, whenever you mark a particular option as your answer, you must be able to underline a sentence in the paragraph that suggests you the answer, okay, that you have marked. This is very, very important. For example, it also appeals to American male youth. So this is the line which is advising me or suggesting me that young men is the correct answer. So when I mark young men, option C, as my answer, I must be able to underline this line in the paragraph. It also appeals to American male youth. This is the line that is advising me option C as my answer, young men as my answer. Sorry, option B, I guess it is, right? Done. So next paragraph number 2. A radio advertising campaign and online publicity called for young men to log on to the internet to play a video game on the Axe website so as to take part in the party. So this is paragraph 2. Okay. A radio advertising campaign and online publicity called for young men to log on to the internet to play a video game on the Axe website so as to take part in the party. So what we can summarize here is young men need to play a video game on Axe website to participate in the party. Now, get back to the questions and see which of the questions matches with our summary here. Okay, so I feel that question number 5, look at question number 5. How did people get an invitation to the house party? So here in this paragraph we are saying that young men need to play a video game on the Axe website to participate in the party. So these two lines are matching with this question. So now look at the options: by receiving direct mail, by answering an advertisement, by applying through an internet site, by participating in a game. So what is your answer? Option D is the answer here. Okay, all right, let's move on and read the next paragraph. So third para is a very short paragraph. It's only one line. Axe focused on the intrigue and discovery of the party. So what is focus here? Focus is to give attention or effort, right? So synonyms for focus may be goal, target, aim, etc. Let's see what they focused on. So they focused on intrigue and discovery. Do you know what is meant by intrigue or discovery? Maybe some of you do not know the meaning of intrigue, but don't worry. With the help of discovery, we can find the answer. You know the meaning of discovery, right? Discovery means an act of finding about something or learning about something new that was not known before. So you try to know something that was not known before. This is what is meant by discovery, right? Here, Axe focused on discovery. That means they have tried to show something new to the people. And how do people generally feel when they see something new? They feel enthusiastic, they feel interested, and they also feel pleased, right? This is what Axe focused on. Axe focused on making people feel pleased, interested, and enthusiastic. Okay, and this is my summary. So I feel that Axe focused on making people feel pleased, interested, and enthusiastic. Now let's see the questions. Here in question number 6, okay, we have already answered question number 3 and 5. Now we are left with only question number 2, 4 and 6. Here, look at question number 2. What was the aim of the publicity for the party? Here there is something called aim. I've already told you that aim may be a synonym for focus. Aim, target, goal, focus, these are all synonyms. And even in question number 6 also, you have got, yes, if you observe, aim is also given in question number 6, but there we have Mary Drapp, and in the third paragraph there is no mention of the name Mary Drapp. That means so we can directly go ahead with question number 2. Look at the question number 2. What was the aim of the publicity for the party? What was the aim of the publicity for the party? So look at the options: to show an exotic location, to improve men's dating skills, to excite people's curiosity, to show people they needed Axe. So you have got 4 options. Now you need to select one. Already you have summarized paragraph number 3, and that actually speaks that Axe focused on making people feel pleased, interested, and enthusiastic. That means, did they focus on showing an exotic location? No, it has nothing to do with location. Did it focus on improving men's dating skills? No. Did it focus on excite people's curiosity? Yes, because they focused on making people feel pleased, interested, and enthusiastic. So when people are interested means they are excited. Okay, right? So that means their focus is to excite people's curiosity. So here is the correct answer. Fine. So I'll go with option C. As I told you, when I go with option C, I must be able to underline one particular statement in the paragraph, and that statement is Axe focused on making people feel pleased, interested, and enthusiastic. This is my summary. Okay, done. So paragraph number 4. It was all about getting into the mind of the 20-something guy, says Mary Drapp, manager of strategic alliances and sponsorships for Unilever. Alright, let's now try to summarize paragraph number 4. It was all about getting into the mind of 20-something guy, says Mary Drapp, manager of strategic alliances and sponsorships for Unilever, right? So what is meant by getting into 20 something guy? What do you mean by that? To get into the mind of somebody, okay, to get into the mind of somebody. So what is being suggested here? Mary Drapp is actually suggesting to take the product into the mind of youngsters. That means she wants to make the youngsters know about the product. When you actually take the product into somebody's mind, means until then he doesn't have that product in his mind. Once you take the product into his mind, he becomes aware of it, right? He now knows about that product. So to get into the mind actually means to make people know about it, right? So this is the meaning. This is what is meant by comprehension. You need to understand the meaning very carefully. This is what also actually means by inference. Okay, so now if you observe the 6 questions here and look at question number 6, according to Mary Drapp, what was the aim of the promotional campaign? And in the 4th paragraph, we are actually speaking about what is the opinion of Mary Drapp. So here Mary Drapp says to get into the mind of 20 something guy, and we have already analyzed that get into the mind means to make people know about it, right? So now look at the options. Option A, to increase brand awareness. Okay, this is the correct answer, because when you get into the mind of the people, they come to know about your product. So when people come to know about your product, your brand awareness, okay, your brand image increases. That means people become aware of your product. Okay, so this is what she is advising, she is suggesting, to increase the brand awareness. Option A is the correct answer. You don't have to read option B, C, D, since option A is the perfect answer for the question. Okay, so if I mark option A as my answer, I must be able to underline a particular statement in the paragraph which is advising me this answer. And what is that? Getting into the mind of 20 something guy. This is the line that is advising me that option A as the correct answer. Fine. So we have discussed almost 4 questions, okay, out of the 6. I want you guys to answer the remaining 2 questions on your own and give your answers in the comment section. Thank you so much. Please do like, share, comment, and also subscribe my channel. And I'll be giving you a few more exercises on reading comprehension, and we'll discuss some more questions so that it becomes easy for you to answer these questions in the exams. Thank you.